This cookie was made for my 40th birthday. I'm in my 50s. Why is this thing still intact? Because it's processed. What's up, my peeps? It's Cynthia, the Fitness and Wellness Bully here, and welcome to my channel. If you are new to my channel, if you don't know, I am the real life fit to fat and eventually fit again. I'm a certified personal trainer, fitness instructor, holistic health coach, but I am human, and lost my way just because of life's little hiccups and jabs. If you want more information on how I got from fit to fat, check out this video here. All right. So today I am going to discuss with you guys calorie counting versus intuitive eating. All right. But before I get into the pros and cons of each, I want to first say that what I am not is a registered dietitian or a certified nutritionist. So this is for informational purposes only. If you think you want to try some of these methodologies, I would say discuss with your doctor or consult a registered dietitian. I'm just giving the information out. Okay. So what are they? Calorie counting, most people know what that is, right? So you use an app, or if you're old school, you may be using a piece of paper, and you are tracking your daily calories. You may have read some things on how to calculate what calorie deficit you should be within in order to, because there's a lot of those calculators out there, in order for you to lose weight, right? So you use an app such as MyFitnessPal. It's a popular one. It's the one I have my clients use to track your daily calories, and you try to stay within a range, right? To achieve a particular weight management goal, typically. Whereas intuitive eating is more of being in tune with your body's natural cues of when you're hungry, when you're full, and enjoying your foods, having a healthier relationship with food. That's just a high level of what both of these particular methodologies are. All right. So let's talk about it. Some of the pros and cons for calorie tracking or calorie counting are, so we'll start with the pros. You get a clear understanding of how many calories you are consuming as it relates to, as I mentioned, your weight management goals. For me, it holds you accountable, especially if you're being honest and logging everything in that you're eating in the app or on the paper, right? Because you actually can visually see, oh, okay, so 2 weeks ago, I saw that I lost 2 pounds within those 2 weeks because I stayed within this calorie range. But this week or these last 2 weeks, I done gained some weight, and because my calories went above whatever range it was previously, right? I hope that makes sense. Okay. And then it's a powerful tool for people who are structured, like myself. I admit that I am A-type personality. It is what it is. So if you thrive on structure, especially if you have a particular goal in mind, calorie counting can be an effective tool for you. And I am attempting to change my mindset on that a little bit. We'll talk about that later. Now, the cons of calorie counting is that you can become very, very obsessive on it, restrictive, and that could lead to an unhealthy relationship with food. Like your life is just consumed about every little thing that you're eating. And then, did I do this right? And then if you ate something that may not be healthy, that you beat yourself up. So it can play with your psyche, just like the scale. Like I told y'all earlier, don't be looking at that scale. Inches, body recomp. You know what I'm saying? We've had that discussion already. um, the other thing is that you may be creating, depending on what you're eating, some nutritional imbalances from your macronutrients, right? Your protein, carb, and fat intake, as well as some minerals and vitamins that you may be missing from your diet based on you focusing only on the total calories and not the quality of the food that you're eating. So, for instance, they have those 100 pack of cookies that you can eat that gives you the illusion that it's healthy compared to a large apple that is approximately 100 calories, right? So the cookies are processed, full of sugar, probably high in sodium, can probably stay on the shelf for 10 years, which ain't right. That ain't right. Whereas you have an apple that can rot maybe within a couple of days, depending on when you bought it and when it was picked. Could be a week, but it's going to rot eventually if it's non-GMO. But that's a discussion for another day. All right. And it keeps you full and satiated, full of fiber, full of good nutrients and vitamins. It's just some goodness. That's all I'm saying. You know what? I could prove to you about cookies right now. But I'm getting away from the subject at hand. But I have something I want to show you about processed foods. Hang on. I'll be right back. I'll be right back. Okay, I'm back. So remember I talked about processed foods, could be sitting on the shelf for 10 years. Take a look at this. Take a look. I don't know if you can see that. Never the kids do. Yeah. This is a cookie that I had someone make for my 40th birthday party celebration I had. I am in my 50s. This was created for when I was in my 40s. It's more than 10 years, okay? And it still looks pretty good. Now, the writing and the picture of myself on the cookie, a little faded, but the cookie is intact. So you let me know if you think that was healthy. All right, getting back to the subject at hand. So I think I covered the cons of calorie counting. Now, intuitive eating, let's talk about the pros. It's supposed to be a more positive, building a positive relationship with food, as opposed to being obsessive with counting calories or obsessing over numbers, right? It encourages you to listen to your body's cues when you're full, when you are actually hungry. You might just be thirsty, right? A lot of times if you feel like you're hungry and you drink some water, you don't feel hungry anymore. Or if you are emotionally hungry. Did you hear me? Emotionally hungry. There's some stressor or sadness or happiness, because some people eat when they're happy, causing you to think that you want to eat, that you want to satisfy something emotional, right? Emotional eating, right? We all know about that. The other thing is it's supposed to help encourage you to eat wholesome foods as well as include foods that you enjoy that may be considered restricted on calorie counting, because you are now in tune with your body fullness cues. You can include those foods that you enjoy and promote a healthy relationship with food and potentially sustain this lifestyle while maintaining your weight goals, right? So that is part of the pros for intuitive eating, right? So you won't feel so restrictive. And it just allows you to eat food that you enjoy. Now, some of the cons of this are without a set structure, right? It can be challenging to establish healthy eating habits and to be consistent toward whatever weight-related goals you may have. The other thing is that weight management can be a struggle with intuitive eating, especially if you struggle with overeating, right? And then you don't have the ability to know when you're full or when you're hungry, right? Your hunger cues are not very accurate because you tend to overeat. So that's something you could learn, right? The other thing is that you may not be taking a conscious effort in, well, the same con with calorie counting of making sure that you don't have any imbalances in your nutrition, right? So, and then lastly, I would say, well, there's two things. One is it may not be a viable option for people with medical conditions like diabetes. Typically, when you have diabetes, there are certain eating time frames that you have to eat, as well as certain nutritional requirements that are needed to help manage your diabetes. And the other thing is, what was it's a learning curve because it takes time for you to understand your body's cues. I know I keep saying cues, but that's what it is. That's what's considered. So you may be wondering what is a good choice for you. Well, not every body and everyone is the same. So there isn't a one size fit all way of eating. So it's really up to you and the type of personality that you have and what you think works for you. So you basically have to experiment on what you feel that you can sustain. Can you sustain counting your calories for the rest of your life? Can you sustain eating intuitively just by listening to your body? So it's just a matter of finding what's right for you, for your lifestyle. Okay. So for me, what I've decided to do, which is out of the box for me, but I have to do something different. Does that make sense? I'm doing a hybrid approach right now. I've read this intuitive eating book. I actually gave one to one of my clients because I thought that would be helpful for her. I've been doing research, Googling, schmoogling about it, and I have been intrigued about intuitive eating. So I've been doing a hybrid approach of not only tracking my calories, but also learning at the same time my hunger and fullness cues, questioning, are you really hungry or is this an emotional trigger is there an emotional trigger that's causing you to feel like you need to eat, right? And learning how to back away from the table. What I mean by that is um, we or most people, I know I have, grew up in a household where if you don't finish everything in your plates or on your plates, you can't get out there out of the you can't get out of your chair. You're gonna have to stay at the dinner table until you eat everything. And so I am learning how to say, whoa, I'm full. I can't eat the rest of this on my plate. So I'm learning to be in tune with that as well by slowing down when I eat. I'm making a conscious effort not to be on my phone when I'm eating because when you're scrolling and eating, you're not paying attention. You're just shoveling, right? One of the clients that I gave the book to, said that now she puts the fork down, right? Choose her food. Give your food time to your body and time to say, okay, oh, okay. I'm starting to get full, shout it. Sorry. Said ATL coming out. And so that's helping her. So I'm taking a hybrid approach. I really hope that I can fully embrace intuitive eating because, in my opinion, it's just my opinion, that this is something that can be sustainable for me and my lifestyle if I get in tune with that. Especially if I feel as though I'm reaching my health and fitness goal, right? Because I'm on this journey to reduce my body fat. Because remember, I don't focus on the scale, but the body fat percentages are going down. My inches are going down. I'm toning, I'm building muscle. And if my cues is working where I don't have to obsess over calories and macros and me being mindful of eating um, whole foods and making sure that my diet is balanced, then to me, it's a win-win because that's just one less thing I got to obsess about. We got a lot of stuff to be obsessing about in this world anyway. So that is what my focus is going to be, taking a hybrid approach. We'll see how it goes. I will keep you in, let you know, keep you informed on how it's working for me. If it's not working for me, I'll just try something else. I suggest you do the same. So that's it. Ain't got no more. In the words of who? Funky Dineva. If you know, you know. Also, please, I want to reach out to as many people as I can to encourage them not to give up. You know, you can do this. Life happens. Life will knock you down. Doesn't mean that you don't have to, that you can't try again. It's because look at me, personal trainer who got off, right? It can happen to anybody because we're all human. So, because I'm trying to spread my message to everyone, please subscribe to my channel, share with people who you feel this will benefit. Like this video, add a comment. I'd like to know if you've tried intuitive eating, if you are into calorie counting, or you just go with the flow. There's no right or wrong way. It's your way, right? So please do that. And lastly, as I always say, if you're going through this journey, love yourself through the process. All right. Until next time, peace.